Television is our history, no matter when we were born, for it tells us not only who we were then, but who we are today and how we got there.
Television, more than anything, is like a book of photographs, a family album. It's a place where we can revisit the past without becoming lost in it, where we can emerge from TV's memories refreshed and ready to tackle our daily responsibilities. And because our senses play such a strong role in forming memories, it's not surprising that television's effect would be so profound.
I wrote The Electronic Mirror because I think classic television, that is, television from the 1950s through, say, the 1980s, ought to be taken seriously as a cultural time capsule. An issue of TV Guide, whether you read it for the articles or to see what programs were on, tells you as much about what life was like back then as an issue of Life magazine or a copy of the New York Times. It tells you about our values, relationships, struggles, and the way we thought and acted and what we believed in.
It was a time when a couple of guys could jump into a Corvette and tour the country up and down Route 66, when your family doctor made house calls and had all the answers, and when a priest hosted one of the most popular shows on television. Mirroring real life, it also wasn't without its flaws. Towns, cities, and communities were lily white and portrayed as perfect. Businessmen chased their secretaries around their desks, and people or groups who didn't fit into the era's societal norms were neither seen nor heard. Regardless, we watched it all in our living rooms. We watched it all together, and then we talked about it together the next day. Television was what united us as a culture, what held us together.
Who among us, watching a television show from our youth, can't be swept back to a certain place and time, remembering the home we lived in, the school we went to, the classmates we dated? Perhaps it's a little later, the first job, a memorable Christmas, or an event that remains frozen in our memories. Just as strong as music and songs, all it takes is a glimpse of a particular program, and we're whisked back to that time as if we'd never left.
Watching television from the 1950s and 1960s introduces us to a world of wonder, in which walking on the moon was a fantastic dream, a world of apprehension in which the threat of nuclear annihilation was a real and present danger, a world of comfort in which the two-parent family was the norm, when everyone ate dinner together around the table and when neighbors looked out for each other. We look at the stereotypes of women and minorities and see how things have changed. We see cars and fashions and marvel how technology has evolved. We see small towns and byways of America in the 1960s and wonder at how completely different the country has become. We see travelogues of distant lands and dream of travel beyond our own horizons.
While some things have changed a great deal over the years, others have remained the same. We still argue about the effects of television on children. We still complain about how dumb the shows are. We still say there are too many commercials. And millions of us still watch it every day.
In The Electronic Mirror, we read about television's potential and its failures. We see how politicians learned to use TV to speak to millions at once, and how ordinary people learned to become reality stars. We live through the British invasion, juvenile delinquency, and the lure of electronic sex and violence. We learn about the sitcoms that helped America fight the Cold War, and the ones that challenged the establishment. We remember the TV hosts who helped us grow up, and the ones that helped keep us safe. And we'll revisit the men and women who made it possible, who came into our homes every week and became our friends.
Classic television is what I think of as an inadvertent documentary. It gives us a look at a world that no longer exists, at least not outside our television screens. But when we turn on TV, when we pop in the DVD or stream our favorite shows, we find out that that world will live forever.
This is our world, the world shaped by generations past. When we lose touch of it, we lose touch of ourselves. It's part of the magic of classic television, the magic of memory. When we suffer from amnesia, when we lose touch with our roots, we are the poorer for it. It is the world of the electronic mirror.